All right. Well, good evening, and thank you guys so much for coming to our dual credit event tonight. We are excited that you're here. First of all, I just want to tell you all that we are recording this event, so it'll just get the backs of your heads unless you stand up and wave at the camera or something. But anyway, I'm Chrissy Angel, and I am the interim dual credit coordinator here at ECTC. And so I am just going to talk to you a little bit about dual credit 101 tonight. Okay. Um, who knows what dual credit is? Who wants to tell me? What do you think? Exactly. You take one class and you get credit for high school and for college. Will you? Yeah. Oh, I need that. Thank you. Let me have that. I'm like, why aren't the slides moving? Sarah's thinking, I don't know. Why aren't they? All right. So you're exactly right. It is college courses that also provide high school credit. So um, we just always want to make sure that high school students know that it is a college course. And so it's going to be rigorous. It's going to be just like taking a college course. Our instructors, even if they are on your campus, they have met the guidelines to be a college professor here at ECTC. We go through a very, very rigorous criteria selection process. So any grades that you earn, they are going to be part of your permanent college record. So just, work hard and take it seriously. I don't think that's going to be a problem for anyone in this room, right? Right. All right. So we have three different types of dual credit. The first is at your high school. And a lot of you in Hardin County are able to take it either at your home campus or at EC3. And so you are taking those classes on your campus. But again, those professors, they have been, or your instructors have been um, vetted, I guess is the right word. They have gone through our process to make sure that they would also be qualified to teach those courses here. Your courses are the same standards that we require you to take or to meet here as well. So you're going to get the same curriculum, and they are going to be just as demanding as if you took them directly here on campus. We also have courses here on campus, and some of you do come here to take some of your courses here. The great thing about taking courses here is that that's where you're going to get the widest selection of course offerings. But that means that you aren't able to be at your home campus or EC3 during that time period. So that can be a little bit trickier. You would just need to talk to your counselor about that. Then the third option is online, and our online courses can be a really great option for those of you who have schedules that might need a little bit of flexibility. When you take an online course, you need to sign in on the very first day of class. You need to get your homework done when it's due. But there isn't like a time block where you have to be logged on for this hour on this day. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility, but it also means that you have to really be responsible for following the syllabus and making sure that you're checking in, that you're signing in, and doing all of your work. So that brings us to student responsibilities. Number one, you need to attend class. Just like in high school, you need to attend class. In fact, very much like high school, if you don't attend your classes, we have to report that to your high school, and then you can be counted as truant, just like if you didn't go to school. Um, we also want you to review your syllabus for each course. Remember that your syllabus, it is your contract between you and your instructor. It tells you what they expect from you. It will tell you deadlines, when you're going to have papers or exams, all of your different assignments. But it also gives you their office hours, the way to contact them, and what you can expect from them. So make sure that you review that syllabus. And I really encourage you to do that with your parents as well. Parents, I'm just going to tell you, I don't know if your kids are like mine, but they tend to bring home their syllabi on the night before I have to sign them, and it's like 9:30, and I'm crawling in bed, and they're like, "Hey, mom, can you review this and sign it?" I'm like, "Well, I'm going to sign it, but I expect you to do the rest." But I really do encourage you parents to try to get your students to give that to you so that you can review that with them. Um, Monitor your deadlines on there. Again, your syllabus is where you're gonna see when things are due when you have an exam coming up. It's a little bit different sometimes in, college courses where they might not remind you as much as you've been reminded in high school, so just keep an eye on those. The other thing that we really wanna encourage you to do is to communicate with your instructors, especially if you're not taking, the course on your home campus. If you're taking something online or here at ECTC, please communicate with your instructor. If you're having issues, if you have questions, even just to reach out and say, "Hey, I'm in your class and I just wanted to say hi." It's a really great idea to just communicate with them. They want to know if you're having issues and if there's something that you need help with. We encourage you to review the KCTCS Code of Student Conduct. It's going to be very similar to what you see in your handbooks from your high school, but we just want you to know kind of our standards and what we expect from you. And then I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. Remember that your dual credit courses are part of your permanent college record. That means you're going to enter college with that GPA. I also work in financial aid, so I just want to let you know that a really bad GPA can hurt your ability to get grants and scholarships. So, you know, take it seriously. I know you will. Um, if you're taking something either here, in person here, or online through ECTC, please pay attention to your schedules because they are not always going to match up with your home campus's schedules. The start end dates might be different. I think now our fall break has married up with Hardin County Schools, but just always keep an eye on those things. Um, Oh, if you see a WWW on your schedule, that means that you're in an online course, okay? And again, make sure that you sign in your first day of class if you're in an online course, because a lot of times instructors give some sort of a check-in assignment just to make sure that you're actually in course. Another thing that we just want to make sure you understand is that withdrawing from a college class is a little bit different. First of all, you're going to need to go to your counselor and get their permission, talk to them about what is going on, why you want to withdraw from the class. They are going to have you fill out a form. You're going to have to sign it, and then the counselor is going to have to sign it to give us permission. Because if you withdraw from that course, it can also impact your high school course load. So we just want to make sure that your counselor understands that you're doing that and that they give you permission. Um, Also, if you withdraw, it can impact your financial obligations. Sometimes, depending on when you withdraw, things can't be refunded. So we just want to make sure that you're aware of that. Again, talk to your counselor before you turn that form in. They're pretty well aware of that, but they will also contact us and we can let them know, hey, I know I've had to talk to Mr. Robbins before and say, hey, does this student really want to drop because they're going to have these fees? And so he talks to the student and says yes or no. So just be aware of that. After the midterm, you have to get your instructor's permission to drop a course. Okay. And the last day to withdraw with instructor permission is the Friday before finals week. Okay, this is for the parents. So I am a parent of two dual credit students, and I'm just going to be honest, this is kind of hard for me because this is my first year. Even though I work here, I don't love this part. We have to follow what we call FERPA. It is the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. That means that your college student, even though they might be a minor, they probably are, because they are a college student, we cannot just tell you anything and everything. So, students, if you would like your parents to be able to call and get information from us about your bill or different things like that, your grades even, you need to fill out what is called a consent to release in your self-service, and we can help you with that, or your counselor can help you with that. But if you sign that, then that allows us to talk to your parents, especially about your bill. They're the ones paying it, so, I mean, I highly recommend letting them have access to that. But with that, parents, just to let you know, if you email an instructor they are not probably going to communicate with you. Our instructors, especially here on campus, they are going to treat your students like college students, so they want your students to communicate with them. And students are our faculty, they are great about communicating with you. So don't be afraid to reach out to them. But parents, like if you're like me, here's what I would do. I would, if my student was concerned and nervous about emailing his instructor, I would say, let's sit down together and write out an email, but it needs to come from him and his account. So, um, all right. That is it for my portion. I try to keep mine short and sweet. This is our contact information if anybody wants to take a picture of that. Again, I'm Chrissy Angel. I am the interim dual credit coordinator. Ashley Tollefson, did Ashley come in? I think she was downstairs greeting. Oh, Ashley is here. Ashley's back there. She is one of our advisors. And then Liz is over at the JSO. She'll pop in here in a little bit. I have to tell you, I am sorry that we kind of sent some of you on an adventure. We're just going to call it an adventure. You got a little pre-tour of the campus. But anyway, we are so excited that you're here. And I am going to introduce Mr. Ben Whitlock next. He is here from the Student Success Hub, and he is going to share some really great information that we just want to make sure you know that as our students, because if you're taking dual credit, you are an ECTC student. Our services are available to you, and we really want you to know about them and use them. So over to you, Ben.
Thank you so much. No, that's okay. Good afternoon or good evening. My name is Benjamin Whitlock. I'm Director of Student Success here, and I work in the Student Success Hub. Like Miss Angel was saying to you, uh, as dual credit students, you have all the rights and responsibilities of a full-time college student. So part of that is access to the Student Success Hub. I want to start off by saying that you all are doing a great thing by taking dual credit classes because you're setting yourself up for success. So anytime a student comes to us, whether a traditional student coming in just out of high school or a non-traditional student who's coming back after a break, learning the college environment can be tricky, right? And we're going to talk to you about a lot of information. You're trying to learn the dual credit process maybe for the first time. We're going to talk about financial aid. We'll talk scholarships. We'll talk about the business office and how to pay bills. A lot of information. The Success Hub, we want to support students academically. Okay, and we'll talk about that a little bit, but we also want to support them non-academically, and part of that is navigating the college environment and our processes. So if you're ever in doubt, if you don't remember anything else that I say, if you're ever in doubt or you have questions, you can come to the Success Hub. And I don't have a PowerPoint. We want to show you our website. And so you can access this website anywhere on your phone or on a computer. Just Google ECTC Success Hub and this comes up. So Ms. Berkshire is going to drive our screen. Thank you, ma'am. Uh, as a student, so if you'll stop right there, we have a button at the top. It says "I need help." So if you don't know where to go, you can click that button. It's a short form. You can fill out that form. Let us know how we can help you, and then somebody from the Success Hub will reach out to you. Okay. So if you say, I need a tutor and I don't know where to go, we'll follow up with you and let you know. We have a professional math tutor, a professional writing tutor, and a professional computer information technology tutor. We have lots and lots of part-time tutors available to help you if you're struggling in a class, if you're struggling academically, or maybe you're not struggling. You want that A. We can help you study and prepare and complete homework assignments to help you keep that high GPA. If you scroll down just a little bit more, we have a welcome center. So if you're on campus, if you're taking classes here, if you don't know where to go, you don't know who to ask, it's ATB, the ATB building, the Academic Technical Building, room 100. If you go in there, we actually call them referral specialists. So if you go in there and talk to one of our referral specialists, they'll help you on the spot if they're able to, or they'll point you in the right direction. We do have success coaches. Maybe you don't need a tutor, you need somebody to help you develop study habits, or you are battling with procrastination, and that's something you need to work on. If you just need somebody to talk to, okay, I'm struggling in math right now. I need to vent to somebody. we're happy to talk to you. Okay. Some of our students have success coaches because they're enrolled in certain classes. So don't be surprised if you get a phone call or an email from somebody and they say, I'm a success coach in the hub. How are you doing? If you're doing great, tell us you're doing great. If you need some help and you need support, don't be afraid to say, I'm really struggling and I need some help. We'll make sure that we connect you to the right resources. We have the Multicultural Center as well. Multicultural is a place for students to interact with one another. They also sponsor some events on campus. Ms. Berkshire, do you care to scroll down, please? Thank you. There's our 3 writing labs that we talked about. You don't need an appointment to access a tutor on our in the Success Hub on our campus. And if you click any one of those, you're also going to see a link. You can access us from anywhere that you have computer access. If we're open and on campus, you have access to our tutors on the spot. Again, writing, math, computer, and if you have another need, let us know in the intake office. We have some other resources that we can direct you to. So I'll skip around here. We do have access to some online tutoring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's called Brain Fuse. So if you find yourself at 11:30 at night trying to work through some homework assignments, you can access BrainFuse as a student here. And if you have any issues with BrainFuse, don't be afraid to call our office and let me know. We can actually provide more time or maybe point you in a direction of how to use this service or our other services and resources to get you the help that you need. We have TRIO Student Support Services. This is a federally funded grant. It's designed to serve students who meet specific criteria. They provide lots more tutoring services. They provide success coaches, counseling services. They also provide some academic advising so they can help as you're ready to go to the next phase. If you want to transfer, they can help you think through some of those processes as well. Um, and then I'll end with Family Scholar House. So some students struggle because they need a tutor. That was me as an undergraduate. I needed help in math really bad. If I took a math class today, I would need a tutor. Okay, I need a calculator for like simple math. It's just not my thing, and that's okay. Uh, if you need a tutor, we have tutors. Some students need support because they need to develop those skills, those study skills, or habits to be successful in a college environment. We have success coaches, and we can help you. Some students struggle in classes because they're hungry, or because they're worried about their family, or they have gas to get to work or school and not both. Uh, Life happens to all of our students, and so we don't want life to get in the way of your academic success. Okay. So we have a partnership with a nonprofit organization called Family Scholar House, and we call it wraparound services because we want to wrap around to those non-academic support services. We have a food pantry on campus. It's available to any of our students Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We have snack bags if you're on our campus and you just need a snack, you just need to pick me up. We have bags with like a small water and some granola bars and a snack for you. You can just come and pick one up. All we do is have you sign your name, and that's it. We have gas cards preloaded with $20 or $25. If a student is struggling with transportation insecurity, we can help by providing a gas card. Uh, so many things Family Scholar House does. Too many things for me to give an example for everything. But if you are struggling with something and it's not directly connected to a class, if it's something you're struggling in life, come and let us know because we have services and resources to support you here at ECTC, and we'll do our best to try to remove some barriers. And for some students, it's as easy as providing them with a laptop, right? And we can provide you with a laptop for a semester to complete your coursework. We can completely remove a barrier to your success. Berkshire, do you care to go up to the Welcome Center and click on that tile? I'll leave you with my contact information. You'll scroll down to the bottom, please. Okay, there's my contact information at the top, my email and phone number. We also have Miss Pam Harper. She's our intake director. Her email and phone number is listed, and Jennifer Douglas is listed there. If you want specific contact information for success coaches or tutors, you can just click on those tiles and go right to their contact information. Feel free to reach out to us anytime. If you don't know where to go, access our website, click on that button that says I need help, and we'll reach out to you. All right. Thank you all so much. I think next I'm going to turn it over to Miss Sandra Kimberlane.
Hello, I am Sandra Kimberlane. I am the director of the University Center here on campus. Currently, the physical space is not open yet, but we do have programs, bachelor's degrees that you can get in person or at least in what we call a synchronous environment, which is same like day and time set, like a schedule would be, through 3 different institutions. So that's already here. We're going to be growing that and have a physical space open soon. But that's just my plug for that's just my plug for the University Center. What I'm here to talk to you all about today is making those dual credit classes count for you um, when you end up at a university or here at ECTC to finish out your associate's degree. I see a lot of familiar faces, so hello. All right. So there are a lot of questions. I'm going to move over here out of the bright light and also so you can see uh, the screens fully. A lot of questions surrounding dual credit classes. The first and biggest answer to this is dual credit and AP are not the same. So if you're taking AP, that's a completely different conversation. Okay. Tonight we're talking about dual credit. And really, I would probably need about an hour with each of you individually. You get me for about 10 to 15 minutes tonight. So there's a lot of detail here. It may get confusing because half the time it's confusing to me. But if you have any questions, my information will be at the end, just like everybody else, so you can snap a picture and contact me later. So we're going to answer most of these questions coming up. All right, so the most important information you need to know about my part of the presentation are these things. One, know what dual credit classes you're getting credit for. What classes are dual credit, right? I mean, Infinite Campus, I have a junior taking dual credit classes. As a parent looking at his schedule, it's not super obvious, right? I know a little bit more because I'm used to looking at college schedules, but if I didn't know that, I would look at his schedule and not even have a clue from Infinite Campus that that was dual credit. And they might fill out one application and take 3 or 4 classes from the same institution. I used to be an advisor, and it would baffle me how students didn't know they were taking dual credit classes. Like, how do you not know that? Now I know because my student is there, right? My son is there. So know which classes you're taking are dual credit. And I'll tell you why that's important as we go through. Mostly it's because when you do transfer, not really transfer, but when you get to that university, when you get to ECTC, you're going to have to request transcripts. Most of our students in our region take classes from us, ECTC, Western Kentucky University, or Campbellsville. There's a few exceptions to that, but those are the 3 biggies. So if you have classes from all 3 of us and you go somewhere that's not the 3 of us, you have to get all 3 of those transcripts and get those sent to that university or college. Okay. High school transcripts typically come from Parchment. College transcripts typically come from National Student Clearinghouse. If it's not on National Student Clearinghouse, then the college's website will tell you. And the biggest thing I can tell you is keyword search when you're doing anything related to college on their websites. Okay. So if you can't find it on National Student Clearinghouse, the college that you're getting the transcript from, then you go to their website, type in keyword in their search transcript request, and it should tell you how to get it from that college. Okay. And then this is students. Everybody that's a student, look at me right now. Right now. When you sit down with an advisor of any kind, you need to let them know you have dual credit classes right from the beginning. Because we don't know as advisors, as staff, we don't know that you have dual credit. Sure, it might be listed on your high school transcript, but we often don't see those. That's not part of the advising process at most institutions. Okay. College transcripts are. So if you got those sent in and they're already evaluated, we would know it from that. But if you haven't done that part, we may have no idea that you have dual credit classes. Okay. So it's really, really important that you be your own advocate and make sure that you're telling any advisor or person that you're working with that you have dual credit. Anybody know why I put these 8 institutions up here? Just holler it out if you have an idea. They accept the credits. What else? Regionally accredited. Yep. What else? Sorta. I would like to have all of them use University Center partners, but not yet. So these are our public 8 institutions in the state of Kentucky. KCTCS, so Elizabethtown Community and Technical College is part of KCTCS. That's the other big public institution. Okay, so these are the universities, the 4-year schools, we're the 2-year. So in the state of Kentucky, this is where it starts getting into the weeds, and I apologize. In the state of Kentucky, between the 8 public universities and the KCTCS system, we actually have a state law that protects some of your credits. Okay, so if you were to take English 101 here, it's coded as a writing course. State gen ed tag is what we call it in the biz. And it would count as a writing course at all 8 of these colleges. Okay, now out of state and private institutions, it's game on. They do course to course equivalency. They can accept what they want or not accept what they want. Okay. Okay, Sarah, thank you. So if you're taking classes mostly through ECTC, this is really important because you do have to have at least 15 credit hours to get this. This is part of that law I was mentioning. It's called the General Education Transfer Agreement. If you're somebody that's EC3 getting a full associate's degree, this will be for you no matter what, because you'll have completed your associate's degree. If you're getting just some AP or dual credit classes, this is something to think about, okay? If you complete this box on the associate in science or this box on the associate in arts, again, 15 credit hours have to be from ECTC, then you would be what we call full gen ed certified. That means all your general education courses are done at all of those 8 institutions. Okay. So that's a pretty big deal. That's what I'm working with on my son, is making sure he's full gen ed certified. I don't want him to have to sit through 200 people lectures classes like I had to. So I'd rather him get into the smaller classroom sizes. Okay. But even if you don't get all of that, there are still those protections in place where if you take 1 or 2 classes, it's a science with a lab, it'll count as a science with a lab at those 8 public institutions. It may not count if you took anatomy and physiology, which is a science with a lab with us. It may not count for anatomy and physiology at those institutions, but it'll count as a science with a lab towards your general education. Okay. All right, so these links are here just mostly to show they exist. We'll get them to the counselors so they can have them. These are transfer equivalency systems. So if you wanted to kind of take matters into your own hands, you can have at least some information at your fingertips. The ones like EKU that have TES at the beginning, that is actually transfer equivalency system. Okay, you can see Kentucky State has their own in-house. Here's all the things we'll take from ECTC or Western, etc. Okay, again, Campbellsville is private, right? So their courses don't have the same guarantee that WKU and ECTC courses have because they're both public institutions. And then so keyword search transfer pathways or KCTCS usually on those 8 public institutions, and it'll show you a roadmap. Today I printed the University of Kentucky transfer pathway and business for finance for my son, so that we can try to make sure that we're taking the classes that he needs to potentially go to UK. He may not go there, but at least we have a roadmap to see if there's any classes he can take that will fulfill requirements there. Okay. All right, so here's the other big tips. So I just talked about transfer a lot and you're transferring your credits. But when you fill out your application for admission to any of the universities or at ECTC, you are a freshman. Fill out your application for admission as a freshman. Because then you'll be eligible for all the scholarships, etc. Okay, so it's really good that they still treat you as a freshman for that purpose. But it's hard because you have all these transfer credits and you need to talk to somebody. The state knows this is an issue. It's been brought up. Actually, UK and EKU already have dual credit advisors. Some of the others are starting to bring that on board. But again, be an advocate. Make sure if there's not a dual credit advisor where you're going, that you're talking to somebody about your academics, knowing that you have dual credit and AP, etc. Okay. Let's see. Again, private out-of-state colleges and university are course to course. So it really, if you know you want to go to Campbellsville or U-Pike or Union or Indiana Tech or Austin Peay, because I looked that up for somebody today, you are going to have to do a little bit more work. Okay, anywhere besides those public 8 or ECTC or within the KCTCS system. Because the sooner you know where you want to go and what you major in, the more likely we are as employees of ECTC and the other institutions to be able to get you on a path that's going to get you there with as few obstacles as possible. Okay. And then word of caution, if you're taking online classes and want to go in a STEM program, some STEM programs don't take online labs. So again, the sooner you know where you want to go and what you want to major in, those are the kind of things we can help you with. And just because it sounds like dual credit doesn't mean it is. You have to fill out an application for admission. Somebody from your school has to put you in the dual credit piece of it. Somebody from our school has to do something or whichever school, but they have to do something on our end to make sure that you're in as a dual credit student. So if you think it's dual credit, but you're not sure, always check with your counselor. Because again, it's part of your academic record as in higher education. So you don't want to not know that that grade is now going to count basically twice for you. Okay, always ask. All right, and one of the very last things is there's really no basics. I have students that would come into my office all the time and say, I just want to get my basics finished. If you're completing your associates, that's pretty much got gen eds done. If you get full gen ed certified, that's got gen eds done. However, every transfer pathway is different. So if I took COM 252, which is interpersonal communication, and then wanted to go to U of L Business School, I would have to go back and take COM 181, which is basic public speaking, because it's a prerequisite for an upper division class at the University of Louisville Business School. Okay, so while your gen ed piece would be done, the program can then say, oh, well, you haven't had this class and this class and this class and this class, so you have to go back and take those. That's why it's really important to know what you want to do and where you want to go so that we can try to make sure to get you those classes from the beginning. And I think that's it. Any questions? Here's my contact information. Want to take a picture, shoot me an email about your specific situation, give me a call, what have you. But any general questions? Yes. Okay, so the question was, if you couldn't hear online, about UK not accepting the chemistry lab online. We have not heard specifically about biology. We have only heard about chemistry. But if you have any questions, I would probably speak next. We just had a big college fair, but the next one that comes around, you can either talk to a UK rep there or just even simply reach out, or you can message me and I'll put you in contact with somebody. If an in-person lab, then no, it wouldn't. It's the lab that's the kicker. Lectures, not as big a deal in most cases. And the way they do it is you have to sign a paper that says you had it in person. There's nothing on your transcript that even says it's online. Any other general questions? make my way over here so I can hand the microphone off. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Now for the fun part. Just kidding. I'm Missy Milby, and I work in the business office, and I'm going to talk to you about paying for the classes, the dual credit classes, and scholarships, how important that is in paying for those. As we discuss the billing tonight, we're going to look at a bill statement. So hopefully that'll make you more familiar with what it looks like. The portions of it, which are including tuition, fees, waivers, scholarships, again, what is very important, and of course the payments. On the bill statement, which is on the screen here, and of course here, um, the upper left-hand corner tells you what college we're looking at, which of course is ECTC. The IMPL ID number is what we refer to as the student ID number. So if we ask you for the student ID number, it may say IMPL on the student side. So just a FYI on that. Then the section over to the far right-hand corner is the semester the student is looking at on the bill statement. So could be fall or spring or even summer if the student's taking summer classes. And the student's information is up in the upper right-hand corner as well. So all the contact information that we have on file for the customer or the student. And line 1 of the bill statement is the tuition. So there could be tuition for distance learning classes as well. So it could be 2 separate lines for tuition, but definitely it's listed as tuition on the student bill statement, and it will be based on the number of credit hours the student is in. So that is at a rate of $186 right now. The next line is a mandatory student fee, which is also listed on the student bill statement, and it could also have distance learning fees, which if the student is taking online classes. So you might also see that on the student bill statement. The next line you'll notice is a negative amount. This is the amount we waive for dual credit students, and that is half of the tuition. So that's a great thing to have happen, and it's wonderful that you're taking advantage of getting those dual credits and the college credit for half the cost of what it could be. And the next line is also a negative amount, which is waiving the fees. So all fees for dual credit students are waived. And you'll notice on this particular bill statement, the student has a $455 balance. So the most important thing that I can talk to you about tonight is applying for those scholarships. So this is what this slide's going to tell us about. And once the student's school district has sent the information into KIA to let them know that they are a dual credit student or taking dual credit classes, then the student will need to log into KIA's website and apply for those scholarships. So there are deadlines established by KIA, and for the fall semester it is October 1, and the spring semester is March 1. This slide tells us the number and types of dual credit scholarships that the student can take at this point in time. This was established for the 2022-2024 physical years, I believe, by the state. With general education classes, the student can have dual credit scholarships. If they're technical related, they're called work ready dual credit scholarships. For the dual credit scholarships, the student gets a maximum of 2 per credit year. I'm sorry, per year. But there are some asterisks there, so notice that. We'll talk about that in a minute. And for the work ready dual credit scholarships, the student is also eligible for 2 per credit year if they're in technical related classes. For the 9th and 10th grade, they are not eligible for dual credit scholarships, but they are eligible for the work ready dual credit scholarships if they're in technical related classes. For the 11th and 12th grade, they are eligible for both of those. So they could get up to 4 scholarships per year, which is very significant. This is a bill statement after the student has applied for the scholarship. And again, I can't stress how important that is and how important it is to the parent's pocketbook. So right here, you'll notice another negative amount, and that's this particular student was in a technical related class, so it says work ready Kentucky scholarship. And you'll notice it is a negative amount, so it's decreasing the amount of this bill by the amount of the scholarship, which makes this one a zero balance, which is what we would love to have, right? So here's just a comparison again, just to stress the difference in applying for those scholarships and getting them into Kia on time. So this particular statement is the one we looked at in the beginning where the student had a $455 balance. And this one is after the scholarship is applied. So again, a zero balance. A KCTCS delays the billing for dual credit students in order to allow the school district time to report the student as a dual credit seeking to Kia and also give the student time to apply for those scholarships so that we're not sending bills and everybody's panicking and those sort of things. So we try to delay that a little bit for dual credit students so that it gives us all time to get accurate balances for the student. The first thing your student's going to receive is an e-bill from KCTCS through their KCTCS email, so their school college email. And then if the student still has a balance, then they may receive a paper bill in the mail. This tells about payments, which again, we hope that we don't have, but if we do, you're always welcome to contact the business office. I have the phone number here if you'd like to, or you can always call the general number and ask for the business office. We do pay cash payments in the office, check and money order also in office or online through the student's self-service. And then, of course, debit and credit card are in office on the phone for the time being. I have heard that that might change, just to let you know. But we also would take credit card payments online through the student self-service. And here is the mailing address if you should want to mail in a payment for the business office, and of course the business office phone number and my contact information. Again, Missy Milby. I am the person responsible for posting the dual credit scholarships to the student's account. So feel free to contact me anytime. If I don't know the answer, if it's not even related to my portion of the job, I will try to get you to the person to help you.